Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're once again here in the Performance Centre at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds. My name's Ryan Rastall, PGA professional here and also equipment expert for Golfshake.com. Today, as you can see, we've got the Qi10 range of fairways to put through their paces. But before we do that, hit the subscribe button and see loads more content from all of us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. Right, let's take a look at these. So we have three very distinctly different models in Qi10. We're going to start with the Max, and as you would imagine, maximum forgiveness. We can see a much wider footprint here. Certainly the depth from face to the back edge of the golf club there is deeper than the other two models we're going to look at. And there's reasons for that. It's trying to get the weight low and deep in the head, make it really easy for you guys to launch it and get the ball in the air. They've coupled that with a really lightweight Fujikara shaft as well, so the Speeder NX down at 50 grams in a stiff flex here. So it's a really lightweight shaft that we see in this fairway wood. So for those of you that struggle with a bit of speed, struggle launching the ball, this fairway wood should tick a lot of boxes for you. We've got lots of technology in here as well. So we've got the high MOI feature of having such a deep head there. We've got the V-steel sole plate on there to help with turf interaction. We've also got this alignment line on the top that we saw introduced last time with Stealth, and that's sort of been evolved a little bit. We've got twist face. We've also got a much cleaner look, I think, when we look down on the fairway wood as well, with this kind of gloss finish on the top of it, which I really, really like. Obviously not adjustable, this version, it's glued. We'll come on to a couple of different things with the fairway woods, and one of them is that one of the models is adjustable and two of them aren't, but there are lots of lofts available in these fairways. The ones we've got here are all 3 woods, so this at 16 degrees, but we'll move on to the standard Qi10 fairway as well. So we can see with that slightly different shape. It looks very similar to the Max, apart from it's just been squashed a little bit in terms of the depth of the head isn't there quite as much. But we see all of the same features, so the V-steel sole. We've also got the twist face in there. We've got the speed slot and just a much deeper club head. So if you look at that, it just looks a hell of a lot deeper. And particularly when we compare it to the Max, it looks considerably deeper in the head, right? So this is going to be quite nice to hit off the tee as well as off the ground, but just gives you that little bit kind of more versatility, I think, when we're hitting clubs like this, because certainly I tend to hit more fairway woods off the tee than I do off the ground. So I want that slightly deeper face when I'm hitting it. When we look at the third model in this family, we can see Qi10 Tour, okay? So as the name would suggest, it's a more compact head, slightly smaller, down at 170cc, so it's a bit more workable. We can also see this 50-gram movable weight in the head as well. So that's going to help us to change the flight that we want. The further back we move it, obviously we're going to get a little bit more height and a bit more spin. And obviously the further forward, we knock spin off and flatten the flight out a little bit. As mentioned before, we've got a bit of adjustability in this one too. So in the normal TaylorMade cog that we see here in the neck, so we're able to move not only the loft, but also change the lie of this. But in terms of looks, again, we maintain that depth that we saw in the standard Qi10, but with just a few more adjustability features in the head as well. So this is the model that is designed to probably appeal to that more traditional golfer, someone who likes the look of a more traditional looking fairway wood sat behind the ball, and that certainly ticks that box. But also someone who maybe needs that versatility and shot shape and ability that this affords you with the movable weights that we have in the head. So we're going to hit them all on the Trackman now here and take a bit of a look at the performance of each one and show you what we think. So the first fairway we're going to hit is the Qi10 Max, okay? So this is the largest footprint, much wider, higher MOI, should be the most forgiving, probably easiest to launch as well. We've still got those great technologies in the V-steel. We've got the speed pocket in there as well with the alignment, the twist face, infinity carbon crown, you name it, this has got it. Not adjustable, this version, so this is a glued neck, and also with that Speeder NX down at 50 grams in the shaft, so quite light as well. So for those players who need help getting the ball in the air and also maybe struggle a bit with speed, this is probably the model that you're going to be looking at. So let's have a bit of a hit with it and see what we think. I mean, it feels really nice off the face, it must be said. Really nice high little draw down there, which is good. Certainly felt a lot better than I was expecting it to. Most of these clubs that are aimed at that kind of you know, the sort of mid to high handicapper player that wants that ball to go more vertical and spin a little bit more are the ones I don't really like hitting, but that felt quite nice. I think the speed pocket in there really helps with that feel element to it as well. Again, I mean, just really easy to use, easy to get airborne, and certainly for that player who requires that, a really nice fairway wood. We're going to hit some more with it before we move on to the next one. So the Qi10 Fairway, this is the one that's probably going to suit the widest range of players that we're going to use today. Again, this is a glued model, so no adjustability in here, and we've got extra stiff in the Ventus TR shaft that comes in as standard as well. Again, feels really, really nice off the face, really solid contact that we got on that. A little bit of a pull that time. Let's just hit another one. Yeah, really good. So it feels very different to the Max, a bit more solid, a bit more duller sounding when we hit it. Like I say, I think it's going to be a fairway wood that's going to really appeal to a lot of you out there, and particularly those of you that have used some of the TaylorMade fairways in the past, because it does really feel like a TaylorMade fairway wood, and those of you that have got them will know what I mean by that. But we've got this depth of face, which I really, really like. A lot of fairway woods you see now are very, very thin and quite difficult to strike, particularly when you're hitting them off the tee. So this kind of ticks a lot of boxes for that. We're going to hit some more with it now, and then we're going to try the other model. The final model we're going to try is the new Qi10 Tour model. You can see a little bit of a difference here. We've got this 50-gram sliding weight, which we can move backwards and forward. We've also got the adjustability feature in here as well, in the neck, in the hosel, and a slightly stiffer and heavier shaft in KBS TD in here now. Certainly sounds better off the face, a little bit more of a crunch when you hit it. It sounds really good actually. And the flight there, I mean, just a really nice high draw, pretty much the shot I want to hit all the time really when I'm playing. So let's just hit another one. A little bit lower out the face, that one. Twist face didn't help me, but let's just hit one more. And a little bit thin, that one. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, a bit more solid down the right side, just with a little draw again. So yeah, much more compact look to it, slightly nicer feel off the face. I find a bit more solid than the other two models, but we'd expect that it's the model that's probably aimed at someone who swings it like me, has got a little bit of clubhead speed, probably needs a little bit lower spin as well. You know, the forgiveness aspect, although that second one went a bit left, I'm probably more bothered about the workability of it, as obviously we all want forgiveness as well, but I just like the look of it and the feel of it a little bit more. So let's have a bit of a look at the results. So when we have a look at the data we've collected when hitting all three models of fairway wood in the Qi10 family, we can see quite a difference between the three. So we'll start with the Max, which is the one that we hit first. We can see here that the spin is the highest of them all. We're getting 259 carry, 272-ish total distance, okay? We can see the ball flight is the highest at 131 feet, but we would expect that. It's supposed to do that job. We can see the dispersion's a little bit wider than the others. I think that's mainly down to the really light shaft that was in it, and I was really struggling just to time the face a bit. But you'd expect many of these with a Max model to be going left of target, and certainly I wasn't doing that. You know, I've hit quite a lot of shots with them, and then just hit 4 really nice ones at the end of the session there just to compare. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the numbers that we're seeing there, we can definitely see the Max model just spinning that little bit more, the flight being a little bit higher. So, you know, it's easier to launch, and that's exactly what this fairway wood is designed to do. When we look at standard Qi10, we can see that the carry distance has gone up a little bit to 262, 283 as a total. So we're getting a little bit more distance because of that added carry, and the spin has dropped quite considerably as well. So the lowest spinning of the three models that we've tried, we can see the height has come down, you know, over 30 feet to 100 feet there that I'm hitting it. And like I say, there's no real reason for that other than it's a bit more deep ahead. The shaft was a little bit stiffer and a bit heavier as well, so maybe that has contributed to controlling the ball flight and bringing that down a little bit more. Now, when we look at the Qi10 Tour, you would expect that to spin the least, and certainly the shots I've hit there, it hasn't done that. It's been a little bit higher than the standard Qi10 model, but still considerably lower than what we saw in Max. We can see the ball speed popped up a little bit there as well, and so is the carry distance. So now we're almost what, 10 yards, just over 10 yards longer than where we were with the Max, okay, which is quite a big increase, to be honest. And then when we look at the total distance, we can see 286 as an average, which is pretty long for a 3-wood. For me, it's certainly, you know, a good, I would say a good fairway wood generally for me in a 3-wood is about 270 to 275. So it's a little bit longer than that. Pretty happy with how straight we were hitting it as well. The ball flight just looked a bit more controlled, and I was hitting kind of the same flight more often, just that nice little draw that I like to see as well. But really good to hit all 3 of these and be able to compare against each other. And we can see there that there's a little bit of an anomaly with the spin numbers with the Tour. Maybe I just need to change where that weight position is a little bit to bring that down a little bit. But to be honest, I'd be pretty happy with the numbers that I'm seeing there if I was hitting that out on the golf course as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed that video. It's been great testing these. I've absolutely loved hitting the new Qi10 stuff that we've been sent by TaylorMade. Keep watching all of our content on the Golfshake YouTube channel to help you play more and play better. And I'll see you all very soon.